I'm about to make Cajun style sweet potato French fries. I've made these two other times on two other occasions and it came out great. So I'd like to share the recipe with you. First thing, you have to get sweet potatoes. I have 4 of them here, but various sizes. You can see, not super big. And that'll be enough for me. So I'm going to take these sweet potatoes and get started cutting them up first. So you cut off about 1 inch on one side and discard that, and probably 1 inch on the other side. And you can discard that. Now here I'm going to cut it in half. Okay, and then these halves are going to be cut in half also. This is a strange looking sweet potato, looking like a banana shape. Okay, and you get something like that. And now we have to cut this up into fries. Okay, now there's different ways of doing it. If you want to make it like a regular French fry, then you're going to have to make them like almost about 1/4 of an inch or so, like so. And I will continue to do this through this presentation. And then what I'm going to do, these are 1/4 inch, so I'm going to go about 1/4 inch here. As you can see, I'm cutting that, cutting that, cutting that, cutting that. See? Now we have French fries. And I'm going to continue to do this, okay, as I go. Now the thinner you make them, the quicker they're going to cook, and I'm going to have to put them in an oven at I believe about 425 degrees, about 15 minutes, and then turn them over and go for another 15 minutes, as you'll see as I go on. But now, right now, I'm not going to waste your time cutting up all this. I'm going to stop the camera, and then we'll go once they're all cut up. Now that I cut up my fries, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these fries, I'm going to put them in this bowl, mixing bowl, and then I'm going to add my seasoning. As you can see in the background, I got salt and pepper. You could use sea salt or kosher salt. Then you have garlic powder, you have onion powder, you have paprika, you have ground oregano, you have cayenne pepper, and you have thyme. And I'm going to add all these ingredients in this pot. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some canola oil in here. You could use olive oil, or you can use virgin olive oil, whatever you prefer. I don't think it makes that much difference. And then I'm going to mix the fries in there, and I'm going to add all of these different ingredients, and let's see how it turns out. As you can see, I got the fries inside the bowl, and now I'm going to take some of this canola oil. I'm going to add about, I don't know, maybe 3 tablespoons. You know, I'm just looking around and I'm saying, well, that looks like about enough. And then I'm going to toss this around and mix it up very well. Okay, now what I'm doing, I'm tossing it around like a salad, so I get all that oil all over the fries, see? And once that's done, I'm going to take all my ingredients that you see over here, all those different things I showed you, and I'm going to just start sprinkling them around. How much? Well, I just sprinkle it all around until it seems like I got pretty much, you know, on every piece, or close to it. And then I'm going to toss it again. That's the garlic powder. I'm going to toss it again and again and again. And then I'm going to go back here. I'm going to add the other ingredients the same way. probably take it a little lighter on the time, and just use your own taste buds, what you like, you feel. You just want to spread it around evenly here, so we get ready to prepare it for the oven. Okay? Well, let me go. As you can see, I put all my ingredients in there. I find it's easier doing it that way. Just dump them all in there and then start tossing it again. Mix it up really well. Very important. Do a lot of mixing here. Make sure it spreads out as evenly as possible. And then I'll show you the next step. You want to get all that flavor in there. That's the whole idea. Looking good. As you can see, I got a tray, a baking tray, and I have some parchment paper here, some baking parchment paper, and I lined the bottom here. And then I took all the fries and I put them, I just spread them around as evenly as I could. Now if you look inside here, there's hardly any oil left. And if there was any oil at all, which I already did, I didn't show it to you, but I would take it, the little bit that's left, see, and I would pour it evenly as I could over the fries, because it's got all that flavor and it helps, it cooks the fries once it heats up. Now I set the oven here, you can see it's at 425 degrees, and I'm going to put this in the oven now. It's not preheated, so I'm going to add an extra 5 minutes. I'm putting this in the oven, just like that. Alexa, set a timer for 20 minutes.
20 minutes, starting now.
Thank you. The whole idea here is that I want to cook it for 30 minutes total. 15 on one side and 15 on the other at 425 degrees. But since I didn't preheat the oven, I'm adding another 5 minutes on. So it'll be 20 minutes on the first. Then I'm going to take the tray out and I'm going to toss the French fries over. And then I'll put it back in the oven and leave it for another 15 minutes. At the end of the 15 minutes, it should be cooked and ready to eat. And that's all there is to it. Now, if you were to take it out and you thought it would need a couple more minutes, you could leave it in for a couple more minutes. But it probably will be cooked in, right now as I put it in 35 minutes, counting the warm-up time. And that's all there is. And believe me, every time I made it, it comes out delicious. It's just wonderful. Another step you could add is you could take the fries and soak them for a half hour in cold water. That's another technique. And then dry them out on paper towels. And that'll make them extra crisp. But these are thinner fries. I cut them kind of thin, a 1/4 inch. They should be okay just the way they are. And that's all there is to it. And I'll show you the end result when they're done. And here's the finished product. After putting the fries in a 425 degree oven for 20 minutes, not preheated, and then for another 15, then taking it out, tossing the French fries over, and then heating it again for another 15 minutes. This is the results. And it looks good. Now if you wanted to make it a little crisper, you could probably leave it in there for a little longer. But it looks, right now it looks delicious. In fact, I'm going to try one right now. Very, very good.